Hey guys, so I'm recording this video for you since I'm not going to be in class on Monday or Tuesday, whenever the class is supposed to be. But anyway, so this is going to be getting you guys started on polymodeling a organic creature. Up until now, we have been focusing on modeling characters, or not characters, but robots, vehicles, prop, and environment. And so none of those are really kind of organic in nature. And here's really going to be our first step towards modeling something that is this uh, with a sense towards it's going to be animated, something that we could rig in terms of adding bones uh, into the system. Um, Something that we could actually turn into a full animated character. So one of the big things of this project is you guys are going to have to understand is the importance of topology when it comes to um, character rigging. So this guy right here, his name is Louis. He is a kind of a big bad guy of a film that I'm working on for a little while. And his deal is um, he's a gangster. He's a mob boss, and he runs a black market starship. So like his thing is he smuggles stuff. He procures goods for his criminal empire and does all sorts of things. So anyway, he's not a very nice guy. So I chose to make him an alligator because why not? I love alligators, and it gave me an opportunity to have a voice actor that had a really wonderful, deep Southern Cajun accent, which was kind of fun. But anyway, that has nothing to do with anything. I just like giving the background on him, so I think he's a fun character. But in terms of this character, he is fully rigged. I am actually animating him in a film, and he's pretty fun to animate. And part of what makes him easily animatable is we're following good rules of topology. And so what topology we've talked about before is we have places on the body where we have face loops that go around limbs. We have edge looping. You can see there's a higher density of edge loops around here, around the elbows. There's face loops that go around the shoulders. The topology honestly just really flows around the body and is very organic in the design, and that's for a reason. We want a character to be able to bend limbs and bend fingers in a way that actually makes sense. So here's one of the fingers. You can see how it's bending right there. And then if we go and bend an elbow, you can see how the elbow folds. And so the topology allows us to achieve that. Poor topology, like having a lot of n-gons or having topology flow that doesn't flow around the body very well, is not going to allow for this, good quality of movement. And we want to make sure that we maintain that. So general rules for good topology are going to be, of course, no n-gons. We're sticking with quads, and we are going to have face loops to go around the base of all clean face loops to go around the base of all limbs. So like if there's a neck, we're going to have a clean face loop that goes around that, and we're going to extend up from there. Same thing for arms, fingers, legs, toes, and tail. Okay. And then we're also going to have clean face looping that's going to go around features that are going to be highly mobile. So things like the mouth. The mouth here has face loops that follow all the way around the lips, and then there's multiples of these because when I am opening and closing the mouth, I want to have good flexibility here. Okay. And then also I have lip movement as well. So this gives me a good ample amount of animation or animatable geometry that I can work with. So right now I'm just kind of showing you some of the blend shapes I have for this character. So this is all very important. This is going to be what I'm going to be grading you on for these next few models we're going to be making. Because you have this model, and then I believe we have your character model, and then we're going to be moving on into rigging. So very important here. Now, for today's rig, or for today's model, I'm going to be doing a character. It's a very small character, but it's going to be essentially a little dodo, a little dodo bird. And I want to make like a little cartoony version of a dodo. I think it'll be kind of funny. And it actually does kind of fit into my story because as he's trying to make a deal with another character, he's like, how about this? I'll lower the price to blankety blank, and I will throw in my last dodo. And literally, as he's saying that, a dodo is walking in with like um, some tea on a tray or something, and then he's like, oh shit, I'm about to get sold off here. So let's see. Find a picture of a dodo. I think I got one. All right. So I'm going to kind of caricaturize this dodo a little bit because it's going to be a cartoony anthropomorphic version, but it's also going to, I mean, it's mainly going to be a dodo at this point. So if you ever seen a dodo bird, they're kind of silly looking anyways, but we'll see. Okay, so I need to do a view, image plane, import image. Okay, make this a little bigger. Bring it up. All right. And then I think honestly, this would probably fit better as a side view as well, because it is pretty much a side view image. Okay. Just gotta move this off to the side. Move this a little further back. All right. Let's see, side X. Oh, okay. I need to move this guy back over this way, and I'm gonna move this one over that way. Okay, now sorry, I'm going to be making this character facing down the z-axis, and I just need to swap the rotation on here. There we go. So I want the character to be facing down this direction, so it's going to be looking at this camera, since this is going to be the z-axis. So this is the side that I need it on, and I normally stick my image planes over here on this side. Not sure why. I don't know if it really matters. Maybe it's because I'm left-handed, and I don't know. I don't think it has anything to do with anything, but that's a reason. As good as any other reason, I guess. Okay. So here's going to be my front Z. Here's going to be my side X. It still feels weird. Like I'm looking at the wrong. My brain like flipped today or something. think that feels right. No, that's actually going down the right. Okay, no, you know, never mind. Never mind. I'm not gonna worry about it. I was gonna model. Yes, it needs to be. I need to have the grid in between. Okay. Whatever. I think I've been modeling in ZBrush too much because it puts the images over here on this side. So maybe that's where I'm getting the weirdness from. It's weird to swap from one piece of software to another. But anyways, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and start off with a cube. This cube is going to be in the exact center. And what I want to do is go and just grab it and just move it off to the side just a little bit. And then let's see, just move its pivot point back to the middle. Okay. We're going to turn symmetry. Actually, I don't need symmetry on at this point. You could have symmetry on if you want. I mean, if you want to, we could just do symmetry. Do object X. Could do that. You may end up running into an issue though where it's not giving you like really good symmetrical movement, but that's fine. All right, let's go run a multi-cut right down the center. See, that's kind of problem I was saying. Yeah. Let's do off. Turning it off, and then I'm just going to manually put it in the middle. Okay. I think that should help. All right. And I'm also going to follow like basically what I've been doing for all my other modeling projects is just following the image and then just kind of tracing this out. Now, if your artwork does not have a side view and a front view, you need to go ahead and make one so you can follow your artwork more closely. I'm just kind of lucking out that this Dodo has a pretty decent side view that I can kind of work with. So yeah, that's lucky me. It works. All right, I'm gonna go and grab those back faces right here. Control E. Straighten that up. And I'm just gonna try to kind of get that bulbousy body with this. Because honestly, with him, with this Dodo, I kind of just imagine it's just like a really fat, like bowling ball with like a neck with like a big fat head. That's what I'm kind of going for. It's just the silliness of these birds. It's really a shame that they're extinct because I mean, that was such a unique head shape. Like, I don't know, these things are really interesting looking. It's yeah, it's just a shame. But I don't know. What are you gonna do? All right, let's multi-cut. Let's put one down the center. And then I can use that to pull these out. Let's get the fat body. Now I don't have a I don't have a front view. I mean, I have a Google search thing up here. Just kind of looking at their body. Like I kind of have this image up also. Like I think that's kind of a funny compassy little image as well. And then there's this might be the same stuffed specimen. But I just really like this kind of like bizarre shape on their heads. Scientists finally know the real reason dodo birds went to extinct. Probably due to us. I'm going to say humans. We did not help the situation. Like, in terms of reasons, I feel like they would be like, yeah, it was probably humans. We had something to do with it, maybe. I don't know. It's like those MASH videos. It's like, well, finally know the real reason why Burger King is so awful, because it's not good food. I believe that wasn't a mystery. Anyway, make sure you hit that like button, smash and subscribe. All right, so I'm just kind of bulbusing this dude out. Yeah, so let's make him fat and funny looking. Like that's my MO with this. Now, when it comes to features and characters and things, we always want to assume a neutral pose. Neutral pose means that it's going to be largely symmetrically posed. As long as the body is symmetrical, it needs to be symmetrically posed. And the creature needs to be in a position where they're not straining any body part. So just think of, like, if you're playing a video game, what would be the neutral position for that character to be standing in? That's going to be the neutral pose. Like this Dodo is largely in a neutral pose. He's looking a little to its left, one foot's a little in front of the other one. But if you move that foot back, make him look straight forward, that's the neutral pose. And that's what we want. Humans, we would be in what's referred to as a T pose, or a modified A pose, where arms are essentially at a 90 degree or 45 degrees from our bodies. But we'll get into that when we model humans. And with this, I'm going to basically have the neck just flow directly into the head. Yeah, I think that's going to make the most sense. You'll see it's just going to flow around. And then we're going to grab vertices to kind of help shape the body or shape the neck. And then if you want, you can go into shading and do X-ray, and we can use that to help out also. Okay, and I think this is, we're gonna go like right up behind the head. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab these two and kind of cut that off, and we'll just kind of extrude out from that direction. I'll grab these two edges and just extrude them out. And then we'll start kind of just forming that beak around the front. I'm kind of just panel modeling this largely. So there's a little bit of a forehead right here. So I'm like going to pull this back. Go, let's do another one, extrude. And then it's from this area that I'm going to actually develop the upper and lower mouth parts. Stem that down, kind of get that little hooked beak area. Take these, that region. I'm really just kind of focused on getting like this curvature right here. I want to go back and fix. Okay. Yeah, we're getting there. So let's move that down, move that up. Okay. So you notice I got like a little face right here and here. That's actually going to be, they're going to go around and then curve back over. And then those are going to be the face loops around the mouth and lips. Granted, I know that, you know, dodos don't really have lips, but, you know, it's animation, so I can make it do whatever I want. All right, let's do that one. We'll throw in 3, 4. I'm kind of sort of mimicking the numbers here. All right. Now I'm not going to join either of these up because they need to be able to talk. Because in my world, dodos can talk. I guess I don't know what language they would speak, but I don't know, whatever. Galapagos, or I don't know, Australia, New Zealand. I don't know. I don't know what they would speak, but they'd speak something. Probably see him sound like Taika Waititi or something because he does a lot of voices. And by the way, speaking of Taika Waititi, I want to recommend a TV show called Our Flag Means Death. It is a very funny, hilarious pirate show. So if you're into pirates, watch that show. It's really good. It's very funny. Taika Waititi plays Blackbeard, the pirate. And he is not the Blackbeard you think of. Okay, let's grab this one and this one. The same. We could do a mesh tools. Bridge, 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 bridge. There we go. All right, cool. All right, so you can see here that like it's you know, it's kind of bird shaped, but we got a lot of issues going on here with the width. So we're going to go ahead and kind of bring these in. So it kind of comes in a little bit there. And then I'm gonna go and turn on soft select. And then the way I like to do soft select is I like to have it set on to surface rather than volume. Volume's going to select multiple stuff. I want to do just surface. So it's going to be just the pieces just kind of like immediately around that vertex if you follow the actual surface of it. All right. Turn off that here. I'm gonna pull these in a little bit. That's gonna be the brow. We'll have the eyes over this way. I need that big old fat snoot. I feel like these guys have a big nose. At least according to that photo, they do. Good lord, look at that thing. That's a big old beak. Just kind of accentuate that puppy. Pull that down maybe a little bit further. Rotate it even more. And that is a big, big honker. All right. Let's do so append to polygon. So let's do right under here, append to polygon. Those. This is part of the reason why I was kind of throwing in the same number of edge loops on the lips as I was is kind of generally fits right here on the jaw that I created. It's a little easier for me to do polygoning. So otherwise I kind of have to worry about um, adding in extra faces and stuff, and it's a pain. Let's do that one. So that one's getting a little complicated right there, so I might do this. And right there, it's probably going to split off into its own thing. So I might have, so I need one, two, I need a couple extra. So I'll take these guys out right here. And then we can shrink them down. Just like that. Then we can do our append to polygon right here. So we go from here to here. And we'll do here to here. And we'll do more here to here. So that'll keep us flowing for a little bit. Okay. All right. Just gonna merge these guys to the center. And then this is kind of, this face right here is getting a little bit big for my taste. It's getting a bit stretched. And when you have stretched faces, they tend to not perform as well as they tend not to deform as well as faces with less stress on them. That makes sense. Yeah, so here's part of the problem I have with the symmetry. I have the symmetry turned on here, but like clearly it's not working the same way. So I'm gonna have to go through and mirror this puppy anyways. Oh well, it happens. All right. I'm gonna take this one out. This. That's gonna go, yeah, I think this will just go down to here. Okay. That I'm just extruding again. Target weld. Let's see. That one to that one. And one thing you want to try to do, and I'm trying to avoid, is creating spiraling topology. And I'm kind of getting to where that's probably going to happen because I basically have a face loop that's doing this bit, and I don't really like that. I'm going to deal with it for now, but I need to kind of work my way into the eye region. And so that's what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go and take this topology and just start working my way into that eye area. So I'm just going to kind of go and how's it doing everything. Let's see. I'll turn off symmetry. Control E. There we go. Okay. Now doing something a little wonky. So since this is going to be a cartoony character, I do want this to have kind of bigger eyes, and the bird on its own honestly kind of has a big eye anyhow. Like it's not a tiny little eye, but around the eyes we do want to have a series of concentric face loops. Same thing as the lips and the mouth. Reason why is because the eye is going to be like the lips, very highly mobile. It's not gonna blink, and you're gonna have expressions kind of coming from the eyes. So I'm gonna kind of mimic this shape of the eye, but we're just gonna make it a bit bigger. That's gonna be kind of where the eyelid is going to be, right there. It's actually looking quite a bit like a dodo. I mean, it's moving really fast. I wasn't sure how long it's going to take, and apparently it takes not quite this long. I need to do the eye, so let's go and grab an eyeball. Best way to do it is just literally grab a sphere and stick it in the socket. Wonder if anyone's ever done a short animated film about dodos being actually really geniuses, and the only reason why we think they're idiots is because we ended up just catching the dumb ones. Like maybe the smart ones all like made a spaceship and flew away before humans caught them. All right. That might be kind of funny. Flight of the dodo, literally. All right. Yeah, that's right. They were supposed to be flightless birds. All right, so that's kind of the shape of the eye. So what I want to do is go ahead and run some edge loops in here. And I'm going to use these to kind of work my way around the sphere just a little bit, because if you look at your eyelids, they actually kind of wrap around your eyeball just a bit. I'm gonna need some more edge looping here, but you get the idea where I'm going with this. And then what I'm gonna do is go ahead and take another. Let me grab this, extrude in just a bit, and this is going to be the interior of the eyelid. So if you look on the inside, it's actually going to that interior piece. And then we have to make a eye socket. It does not have to go all the way around the eye, but it needs to be enough to where we don't see the emptiness of the inside of the skull if the eye moves around in a weird position. Back, span it out just a bit. And span it out some more. Do it one more time. I'm just extruding, expanding, extruding, expanding. And I'm gonna start closing up the sac around the back of the eyeball. And then we do need to actually close this up back here. So we can do this. We could do a pin to polygon or do like a fill hole and then do a multi-cut, whichever one works for you. So I'm going to do a multi-cut, do it around. And I'm going to do it like 1, 2, 3. That's going to be 2 quad or 4 quads right here. Okay. Not super pretty, but you get the idea. I'm going to go under mesh tools, sculpting, smooth. And I want to kind of just smooth this out. All right, it's gonna be a warning saying mesh cleanup cannot be performed or sculpting cannot be performed on not manifold. Probably I have some bad topology somewhere. So I need to clean that up actually. So real quick, let's just go ahead and do that. Turn off object. I thought I turned you off. So I'm going to go and delete half these faces, delete half that body. I want to do a cleanup. So let's do mesh cleanup. And it's looking for non-manifold faces. So non-manifold geometry. I'm going to tell it to remove it. I shouldn't have any n-gons. I don't think I shouldn't have any of those. Clean up, matching polygons. Okay. And I'll do lamina faces also. All right, so it should be good. Mesh tools, sculpting, smooth. Okay. I'm just going to kind of smooth out the eye sac right here. I'm just kind of gently smoothing it, so we don't have any weird geometry kind of sticking up. There we go. See? Okay. Someone hit the geometry. Let's go ahead and do, so we can do a mirror on it. Let's do a mirror. Not even close. Not even what I'm wanting. Let's do mesh. Mirror. Yeah, see, it just doesn't work very well. I know it works sometimes, but other times it's like, nope, does not want to do it. All right, let's do duplicate special. -1. Do not need 60 copies. I just need 1. Do not need any sort of translations or rotations. If you're not sure, you can always reset it. Reset the tool, -1, duplicate special. There we go. We're going to take the both sides, get a mesh, combine, vertex. And it honestly is really a good idea to do this while you're modeling, so you get a good idea of like what the model actually looks like in full 3D versus just half of this. Because I know with a lot of you guys, I'm seeing evidence of just modeling like from one perspective and not really ever shifting around. You really have to shift around. You have to look at this thing. It is a 3D object. You have to look at this in multiple perspectives. If you want any chance of being a successful modeler, you got to do that. All right, let's do edit mesh. I'll do that mesh merge. There we go. Merge. 3. There we go. Got some pinching right here. Let's find out what's going on. Up to the vertices. All right, let's see that again. Really good. It's pretty good. So I'm just kind of looking at anywhere that like pinches weirdly. I got something right here. Usually it's actually pointing to the thing that didn't merge right. You'll see it's almost like you're zippering it up. Okay. All right, cool. I think that looks better. All right, let's go ahead and make. I really am focused on keeping this guy low res while I'm doing this. So I'm not going to be adding in a lot of edge looping. I'm going to try to work with what I have first before I try to add in more. And this is really important for y'all because we do not want to have, we don't want to have more faces or edges than we really need. Because if you can make something with fewer faces and fewer edges, and you can make it, model it adequately, then I would say that's probably the best way to try to go about it. If you have to add in extra stuff, then that's by all means go for that. But there's nothing wrong with trying to be a little conservative with your topology flow. Because I find that when you add too many, you end up reinforcing edges that you don't need to reinforce, and it ends up just looking really weird. Things get pinched. Okay, I'm gonna need to add actually some extra edge right here. A little bit right there. And then one right here. So I'm gonna add some extra edges. The reason why is I need to kind of work with this eye shape. Try to round this out just a bit. And then remember, anytime you add a edge or a vertice, always try to see how you can get that thing to work. All these extra vertices to work for you. Okay, you don't want to reinforce a straight line if there's a curve. So even if it's just a gentle little movement, you still want to try and create that look as much as possible. You want to try to reinforce that shape. Um, you know, you want to show your intention through the form. I started off with a cube on this thing. It does not look like a cube anymore. Like it's very organic and round, and I'm supporting these curves with every vertex that I'm throwing in here. I'm trying to make it look as good as I can. Also thinking of like, if this is going to be a character, I need him to have like a front profile as well. So probably need to like pull in some of this. So if he looks forward, you can see, his eye direction as well. Well, we also want like a nice little, I think almost like a Daffy Duck or Donald Duck kind of facial quality to it, maybe. Throw one in there. That one just threw something all the way down the line, didn't it? All right, so pull that back. Okay. That. Oh, nope. All right, so that guy just got ran all the way down here. So we'll just move down and kind of support that curvature of the neck just little by little. And it's, again, this is subtle, but like I am serious. You need to be checking all of your vertices as you're moving, making sure you're adding in curvature, but you know, we're not putting in too many vertices. Everything we're doing, we don't want to overload ourselves. Because if I threw in a bunch of these edge loops, that'd be a ton of work. And I do not want to do all that work. All right, let's not figure out how I want to do the tail. I gotta do like a little pompadour butt or something on here. I need to do legs also. You're going to find a lot of this is just going to be adjusting and readjusting as you move around. And that is okay, because you're going to see things as you move around the body. You know, question yourself if you're like, okay, this looks done. Yeah, it may look done, but then do it like, look at it from a different angle, like rotate it around, pull it upside down, and then look at it again and look, see if you see any issues at that point. And if you're not sure, then go take a break for 20 minutes, go get some coffee, and then come back and you're gonna be like, oh man, there's so much stuff I can fix now, which is good. Because it means you are getting better as an artist. And it's really, I am serious though, it's weird how you see like little details kind of pop up that you never noticed before. Even just kind of looking at this dude, like I really like this kind of characterization of the things. Like I think this is either a painting or maybe it's just a really weird looking specimen, but I really like that mouth shape right there. That's kind of cool. Kind of pull that in. You have this kind of come down. It's going to kind of come down too. No, that's going to go back up. Just a weird bird. I don't know what the deal with this thing is, but I kind of like it. It's like ask yourself, like, how can you make this creature in as few vertices as possible? Like, what does it take to do that? It's like I need a little bit more curvature here, so I'm throwing in some more. So it goes up, and it comes back down. So this is going to kind of come back down. Okay. I think I can bring this back down. I'm trying to close in those lips. Quote unquote lips. Not really lips, but kind of like lips. And then I kind of like this, the way the corner of the mouth kind of like pulls down, like he's continuously worried. Which I guess I would be if I was a dodo. I would just be really worried that like some sort of existential dread is going to happen to me. Like, what if, I don't know, what if they like brought me back from extinction and okay. Add in some more here. And then like before. That real bulbousy snoot right there. And then there's a like a little fold or something that kind of comes in. Like that. Yeah, this thing's ridiculous looking. I love it. I like making weird animals. Oh, he's got so much character now. Look at that dude. Oh, he's fun. This is fun. Bring in all of this in a bit. This also apparently came down pretty good too. Don't know if that did anything. You know what? Sure, why not just have it kind of come in a bit. We'll just do that. Okay. Now come in. Really weird looking underbeak, I guess. But anyway. So it looks like smooth. Okay, that's looking good. I feel like the head needs to be just a tad bigger. Let's pull the head back just a little bit more. A little bit bigger of a noggin. And I do, it's getting real pointy right here. So I think what I'm going to do is I do need some definition. So I'm going to grab all these faces and we're going to do a little extrude, and that's going to give me an extra face loop I can use and a bunch of extra vertices to support a little bit more definition in that noggin, a little bit more curvature in there. So it did have kind of a round head. I mean, it's an odd looking bird, but it definitely had a rounder head. Okay. Right here, actually, I'm going to go ahead and just take these two right off. So I want to have just like an extra, basically extra couple vertices there on the edge. I like that. That's going to work out. Cool. All right, I'm going to add in an extra edge loop right here. Bring in that curve right there. And then to make sure we have plenty of flexibility in that neck, I'm going to add a few more edge loops right through here. And then one thing I want to do is I'm going to go through sculpting smooth. And I just want to very gently, and I'm just going to like just kind of tap. I'm just going to kind of go in and just like smooth out and relax some of that geometry. See, kind of round it out. And I like it. Let's make sure we save this. Dodo. Maybe they're like the servant class or something that Louis has. All right. So I need to deal with legs and arms. I think for the arms, I think what I'm gonna do is let's just do it right here. We'll do a little arm kind of like this. And I'm going to model like basically the feathers as if they are like fingers. If you think of like what's those bird people on Zelda, but they basically have like finger, wings, whatever. There's gonna be like tiny little fingers. And it's been a while since I've done wings, so this is going to be interesting. It may end up being awful, may end up being awesome. Who knows? I'm going to give it a hit. It's going to be awesome because I'm doing it. Actually, it might be awful. I think it's literally been since like 10 years since I've done any sort of feathered wings. Okay. So we want to do there. And that'll be the wrist. I'm gonna do a little thumb right here. This is gonna kind of get into a little bit more of like character modeling since I'm doing like actual like hands. But I'm not gonna push that manifesto on you just yet. But basically the entire silhouette is going to look like hopefully the wing. Let's see. So this kind of has, let's see what we got for wings. It's kind of, yeah, something kind of like that, I guess. Maybe like those are the fingers. So they're gonna be pretty thin. And then here we're just gonna do a short little extrusion. Out just a little bit. Flatten that a bit more. It's getting quite large right here, but I think it'll still work. Just do multi-cut. All right, I'm gonna do one cut, two cut. And that's gonna go across. So that'll be useful over there. And then I can use these to kind of support the shoulders a little bit more. And this will give me some depth. So that's going to be useful for that. And then we'll do 1, 2, and 3. Control E again, but I'm gonna do turn keep faces together off. Do it again. Okay. Let's do, yeah, let's just do it this way. Okay. What are those Zelda bird people? Bird race. I need to look at some reference for this. Okay, what is this guy? He's the annoying one. Yeah, there we go. I need to see your hand. Where's your hand, buddy? Give me that. Okay, I think I'm on the right track with this. I'm kind of looking at this image right here. And then also that one. I think, yeah, I think I'm good. I just need to make it a little more pointy. I'll probably look kind of cartoonishly feathery. Okay, I'm not going realistic here, but get the idea. This is going to be like this one, biggest one. This is going to be the second biggest. And I'm looking more at the pattern of the feathers on the wings than I am actual like fingers. Like fingers would be like, you know, how our finger lengths would be like how our fingers are. The first is going to be not quite as long as the middle finger, and so on and so forth. But I think that kind of works. You just square these up. They are really wonking out. So something like that. But that's not the topology we want for actual fingers. We need better topology. This topology sucks. Don't let that stick. Like you cannot use those as fingers. But we will make it better. So I'm just kind of giving it some volume right here. Especially down here at the base of the wings. And here on the leading edge, I'm gonna bring that down, round it out. And round this out also. I think overall I'm just gonna grab the whole arm and just shrink it once I get a little bit better situated. I think I have a little extra edge loop right there. That's not It's a good thing I saw it. Must have hit extrude an extra time. That happens. All right. So for everywhere we're going to have a joint. So anything that's going to move, you need to have a so like the elbow here, we have to have a edge loop above and below and right at that joint. Okay. So like the shoulder right here, we need to have a loop above, below, and right at that joint. That's going to allow us to have superior flexibility. And it's going to allow us to keep the deformation so it doesn't collapse the joint or collapse the topology when we move, like move the hand or rotate or anything like that. So if we want to rotate fingers and something like that. Okay, so I need to run an edge loop all the way across, but I don't like it running all the way up the hand. So I kind of would like to kind of better contain those edge loops a little bit more. Let me play around with the profile first, and then I'm going to worry about that. Get this a little more feathery. Swing may end up being a little bit big for the Dodo, but for the character, I think it'll work. Okay. And right here on the fingers, make sure we put the base. Right there. Okay. So generally speaking, for fingers, I like to have at least 6 to 8 vertices going around the actual finger. So right now we just have 4. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I would like to have basically 2 more edges, one here and one here. In order for me to achieve that, I'm going to have to essentially temporarily cut off the hand to kind of limit face looping or edge looping going up and over the body. And you'll see kind of where I'm going with this, because part of this I keep harping on is like we don't want to run too many edges. We don't run too many edges. We won't run too many edges. And so by adding that in, we're going to accidentally run too many edges. So I'm kind of stopping that, cutting the bridge, so to speak. Let's actually go and take. I'm going to shrink that thumb down a little bit. Kind of. There we go. All right. So what I want to do is go ahead and run an edge loop down each one of these. And then I'll run an edge loop down the side. So that's going to give me the definition that I'm looking for. But you see, like I've just had a whole bunch of edges going up here. I don't really need all of that. So I need to basically redirect these into the other fingers. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and grab these extra good guys right here. And let's do the same thing down here. And hit Control Delete. So we're gonna get rid of those extra vertices as well. And then I want to do multi-cut. And basically I'm gonna run it up and over and back down. Okay. So I'm gonna go right here and over to here, over to, come on. What can I do you? Put that in there. Why is this face not doing it? I know what the issue is. I need to run basically from here to here. And then I'm going to put in an edge right there. Actually, that corner. I'll do a multi-cut from this point to that point. And then from this point to that point. Same thing here. It's going to go up. Let's just go straight over, back down. But vertice right there. Vertice right there. Move you over. Move you over. And then we'll do cut right there. And cut right in. Now this is taking an end gun and turning it into 3 quads. So that's why I want to do that. Okay, so let's take care of those. I have this one that needs to be taken care of. I'm gonna go ahead and actually just run that one. I can accept that one up the shoulder because that's going to run over and back down. And that's going to go and mate back into this one that's going to be underside. Right there. Just like that. Now this side right here, that one's going to have to go. Where are you going to go? That one's going to run actually pretty far around. I don't need that to go all the way through the entire body. So what I could do is go across and then back down and over. Do that. I'll take this guy and I'll run that right there. Now that's going to also give me this one. So it's going to go from here. Okay. And this right here, I need one right there. So I'm going to do this guy. I need an extra edge loop right here. I want to kind of do something similar. Right there. Just like that. Okay. So it kind of goes up, over, and then back down. That kind of works. That keeps it all kind of localized because like down here, I'm going to have to deal with legs. Okay. And those are kind of wingy looking arms, I'd say. All right. Can we bridge them? Hopefully we can. Bridge, 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 kind of. All right. Play with that twist value right there. There we go. Perfect. All right. Let's grab some of these vertices and kind of work on that profile of the wing. It's kind of a broad arm, I would say. And then this right here is pretty flat. So I'm going to take these and just kind of bring that over just a little bit. Up just a little bit. Make a little tip. All right. I'm going to do that for all of these guys. Make little fingertips. It's going to be a little bit angled in the same way that like feathers. Feathers are going to be a little bit angled. Kind of like that. Just pull this just a little bit more forward. There we go. Oh, that's actually getting, that's kind of working. Okay. And then I need to kind of curve these. I want to move a little bit faster with that. So I'm going to grab my smooth tool and look at this. It's kind of putting in that organic curvature that I've been manually dropping in, but don't go too crazy with it. You'll see it kind of, you'll lose your form pretty quickly, but you can use this to create that curvature pretty quickly. Right here on the shoulders, I'm kind of echoing that curvature on this topology, and I'm just smoothing it out. That's all I'm doing right now. So that kind of works. Actually looks pretty neat. I'm gonna add a couple more edge loops just right through here. Just to kind of help that. Any deformations that might come up. Anything like that. Okay. It's kind of looking a little weird now, but you get it. Okay. Let's go and save that. And then the legs. I'm gonna go and start off with doing a little extrusion. And I think I'm trying to think of how I want to do these legs, because if you look at some of these models, I mean, they look like they just, I mean, like the thing with birds is they hide their upper legs really well. And this is like with my chickens, you really only see like these little stalks coming out the bottom. You know, you see the calf and the chicken little bottom legs, but like they have like their knees and thighs just hidden up entirely up in their body, and they kind of just sit on their thighs, sit on their thighs and calves. Um, they're really kind of weirdly shaped. So I kind of have to ignore a little bit of anatomy here. There's also a lot of like flesh and stuff that's going to like be connected. So let's see what we can do here. Part of me is like, I need to model the entirety of the leg accurately, but it's not honestly feasible right now. So I'm going to go and pull in some of this right here, give myself some room. And I think I'm just going to kind of fake the calf kind of coming out just a little bit, and then like coming straight, then have like the bottom part of the leg kind of coming like straight down. Hopefully it'll make sense. Okay. Something like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and kind of flatten that out. And that is going to be, that's going to be basically the leg right there. So that's going to work. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put in a few extra edge loops right here. Well, kind of, that was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. Okay. I think kind of if I want to model these legs, I think I want to go with something that's a little thick, and I mean like thick with like two C's, because he's got a big old butt, got a big old bird butt, and I know exactly when I animate him, he is going to run like my chickens do, and which is hilarious. We had a pair of black silkies that when they ran, they just kind of looked like, I don't know, they were just very funny when they ran. It kind of just looked like they were like hopscotching across the yard. They just had big old fat butts and they just kind of ran around. They were walked outside with any food scraps and called for them, they would just kind of just dart out of nowhere. Okay, I think that is good for the upper thigh. All right, so I'm kind of slowing down a little bit. I'm going to go to File, actually Edit, delete all by type, History. And I think that's speeding up a little bit. I guess I had oddly large feet. I'm not kind of weirdly big. Let's see if that goes, where does that go? It goes all the way up through the leg. Okay. Shrink that in. Shrink that in. Kind of give a little bit of a form here. And that in. All right, I'm gonna go and pull these in, and then down, and that should give me some extra faces to start doing the toes. I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I got a bunch of those toes. Turn those off. Turn and keep faces on, off, and then that's gonna give me the start of my toes. And then kind of sort of mimicking, like, I don't see that in that toe shape, but I'm kind of mimicking like the snoot right here on the bird with like this toe shape that I'm doing. So we actually do down. All right, so that's really basic topology for the toes. It's not good topology, but it's really basic. Okay. So you kind of see like the form that I go for here with the toes. I would basically just be following the same rules that I had before with the rest of the body. Let's see. So let's go and do a multi-cut around the edge. And I do a multi-cut up here. I was going to throw it up there for you. Do one right here. I was going to run all the way there. So I'm almost going to have to run into an issue where I am probably going to cut the foot off and then rework it a little bit. Ugh, these toes are broken. Okay, grab these guys. Let's shrink them out. There we go. These. Okay. There we go. It's right here. I need to straighten all this up. All right. Let's see this one right here. Run some edge loops right here. I'm just throwing extra topology here to kind of help support the shapes. I'm going to go through and smooth it out. And there's going to be the ankle. Through here. Let's do, let's see, smooth. There we go. Oh, not the smooth I was looking for. Not there yet. Okay. Mesh display, mesh tool, sculpting, smooth. Okay. All right. The last thing I want to do is go ahead and do the interior of the mouth real quick. That's going to be a little, it's the last main thing I really got to deal with this project. And so I kind of want to grab, let's say like both of these, and we can do, let's do bridge. Yeah. Let's try it this way. Maybe a little bit easier here. All right, I'm just going to grab a bunch of these. That should automatically version and then do one division. Okay. And then we'll grab that edge. Let's move that down. So we're essentially just making the interior of the mouth right here. That's going to be the most simplistic version of this possible. Do a fill hole right there. 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 I think we're okay there. All right. We can do another bridge, and we're going to do right across there. Put a division. Okay. Okay. Hole. And we'll do cut. There and there. And the idea is we're essentially making the interior of this mouse, when you open the mouth, it doesn't look like a monster. And we also want to do a little bit of a what's called a mouth sack. So I'm going to grab this open hole back here. Screw it back. Close it in. Maybe rotate it down just a little bit. Screw it again. I'm gonna turn off symmetry. I'm just gonna kind of squeeze it in like that. Then we can do another fill hole command. Multi-cut from here to here. It'll give us one definition to work with. We can do here to here. Do here, here. Okay. All right, so that'll give us something. Let's do. Right, let's do this. Turn on symmetry again. Up to X. Symmetry right up here. Right there. Okay, so that'll turn all of that into quads. And then I'm going to go back into mesh tools, sculpting, smooth. Good, but let's see. Just kind of smooth out. So someone else like the smoothing kind of get a little overzealous right here. Okay. Cool. I think I like it. Still not sure what I want to do with the tail yet. But you know what? Let's kind of do like a little like a little, I don't know, like a little chicken butt or something. I think I have the wrong tool. Sculpting smooth. There we go. Just a multi-cut right here. Can do Okay. Well, I think that'll work for now. All right. So some things that could be done. We could do nails, some feathering, maybe some feather detailing. I probably keep a lot of this honestly close to the body, but I think the tail could do some feather stuff. But otherwise, I think it's not bad. Kind of does what I want. All right, I'll pick up again in class and kind of finish this guy up. But otherwise, it worked pretty well.